Welcome back to my channel, Simple Learning Tips. So today we'll be discussing the second part of top 10 HR questions. I have actually made a video with top 10 1 to 10 questions. I'll leave the link in the description box as well as in the card. So please do check out that. It will be very, very helpful for you. So without much further ado, let's move on to today's first question. That is, interviewer, they can ask, how do you adapt to sudden changes in a project? So, don't say that there will be a panic and, don't try to avoid the question. So, it depends on the situation. Don't say like that. First, to give an ideal answer, these are the strategy that you could adopt, and based on this strategy I'm giving you an answer, and please do modify it as per your choice. So just say that I would take a pause and I would try to understand what is the new goal, what are the changes. Then I would reprioritize my current task and communicate with my team members and my supervisors so that my expectations would be met. Now for you can also say that, for example, when uh, when I was studying this subject, they put the something, something when you were studying in university and you had to face, there was a syllabus change or there was a faculty change, and or the report, the project report that you had to submit, there was some plagiarism, something like that. Okay, and you did not know that, so you had to focus your shift on something else, and then tell about the result that you got out of that. Now next is, tell me about the time you had to learn a new skill very quickly. Again, don't fail to explain that how you learned it. Just say that when I was faced with this kind of situation, I had to learn a new skill. Whatever the skill is, just add that. See, why I'm not giving you that particular skill is that because just it varies based on the course that you are in. So just say that I broke it down, but and by consulting experts with my faculties, and I utilized the resources available, and I immediately applied it to the task. So within this time frame, I was able to successfully complete it, and tell the result that you got out of that. Okay. Now, next is, how do you handle constructive criticism? Don't say that I generally don't get criticism or something like that. Just say that I actively welcome it, because whenever we get a constructive criticism, it is the fastest way to improve. Also, you can say that, recently my faculty suggested this thing, and I thanked them and I implemented the change whenever I felt it was required. And I saw, I saw good improvement and I saw the positive result. You can mention that. So next is, describe a situation where you had to work with incomplete information. Whenever this kind, don't freeze, don't blame again, never ever blame anyone else for giving the wrong data, or faculty, especially your teachers, your teammates or anybody. Don't blame that. Just say that, there was this time when I got this incomplete data and I had to complete it, so I lacked this data. So what the action you took? So I got information from university library resources, other resources through internet, and it helped in achieving this positive result. Okay. So just say that, I try to understand the data that is available, and if I find that there is some incomplete data, I try to identify it with the critical gaps, and then I'll make a calculated assumption based on past trends. So say something like, which would be very useful for your interview. Now, what is a deeply held belief that you have changed about your mind recently? Don't never ever pick any kind of political, religious, or anything that is a kind of controversial topic. Okay, just show your humility here and also openness. Just say that, just say, some soft skill. Talk about some soft skill. Just say that I used to believe that multitasking means productivity, but after reading this book, or let's say after, after reading from that magazine, something like that, from that article, I understood that, whatever your new belief is, I just felt that, doing single task and giving my focus on single work helped me be more productive. So I changed my approach and my output increased significantly. Okay. So just talk about some soft skills. Then, how do you stay updated with industry trends? Please just don't say I read the news, I go through the net. Just say, some specific books, related to the field, and or some kind of specific publication, newsletter. Okay, so you can say Harvard MBA journal, something like that. Okay, or if you're following someone in LinkedIn, you can say that this company's LinkedIn. I'm following him so that I know what are the various latest trendsetter, and just give an example also that what you have learned recently. See, why I'm saying is before going for this interview, for any interview, please be prepared with these kind of questions. Always try to learn, to subscribe to some publication, any kind of newsletter, LinkedIn profiles, they give, there are some good LinkedIn profiles that you could follow, and they will keep you updated about the current industry trend. Okay, so just try to follow that at least. I'm not saying you have to go through it fully, but at least have a, what do you call that? A short understanding about it. Okay, there is a word for that. I'm forgetting it. Just a mild, not mild, I would say, uh, overall understanding about it. Tell me about a time you stepped out of your comfort zone. So please share me in the description box what kind of answer would you give, and I would like to, give you the correct answer for that based on the answers that you're giving. I would really love to know what you will say. Okay, so let's say don't say something too personal, or don't say something that are irrelevant. Just say that, like you can say that I'm an introvert, but when this situation happened, I had to present it to a large audience and I had to make a lot of contacts. So I volunteered because the situation demanded. I practiced intensively and delivered the presentation successfully. So say something like that, which the interviewer also feels that okay, he is a person who will step up when the situation arises. See, ultimately our job is to get the interview, right? To get the job, so you have to practice. See, with practice you will get it. What was your most challenging academic subject and how did you tackle it? Just this I can give a personal personal experience. I actually flaked this question. I actually failed this question because it was a bank, I think, some bank, ABN AMRO bank or something. They were doing campus placements, and they asked this question to me, like, what is your most challenging academic subject and how did you tackle it, like that. And unfortunately, that was a post for HR, but I thought since it was for HR, I could say that I said that to the interviewer that I don't like finance. I'm very weak in finance subject, and so I don't like to work in finance, something like that. I just babbled, to be frank. And what happened was that he was like, okay, you don't like finance and you're going to work in a bank. So I'm sorry, like that. The interview was very good at till that time. Okay. But because I just gave the wrong answer, he was very strict. He said that, no, we'll not select this person because I scored good in aptitude and everything. But this question, and till that time, whatever questions they were asking, I was giving good answer. But since I said that I don't like finance, I'm not good at it, and I see saying that is what not a mistake. The mistake I did was stick to it that I don't like to work in finance. Okay, I'm not a finance person. If I had told like if I had said that, at, if I had given the answer like, that I don't like finance, but I formed a group, people I study group or something, and who was good in finance, and I started working on it, and then I got this score. Then he would have hired me. But I bluntly said that I am not interested to work in a finance field, so I was rejected at that time, and that was a little blow to me. I really cried a lot and all that. So you understood the point. So try to give like answers like, I'm not good at this subject, but still I formed a study group. I ultimately earned this score, and this helped me understood the value of persistence. Something very good, positive answer. Please do give that. At that time there was, yeah, I had to blame. There was, I didn't have that much understanding, I would say. So next question, describe a time you had to unlearn a bad habit. Okay, don't give a cliche answer like I work too hard, I'm a hard worker, blah blah blah. Just say that I was very bad at I hesitated delegating my work, but later on I understood, because I thought the work would be much faster if I did that. But later I understood that if I started assigning smaller tasks to team members, then it will help my overall efficiency. Something like this, something very simple to the point. Now, next question is, how do you approach a task you have never done before? Just say that, I would do an initial research to understand the basics, like and I would sketch a plan, and then I would consult it with the subject matter expert, and then I would start working before I would start working on it. So say something, again, whenever you are given an answer, try to be very simple, try to be calm, and to the point, just give the answer. Okay. So like I said, uh, 21 to 50, I have created a beautiful PDF which would really, really helpful for anyone who is going for interview. I bet you. So that I will leave in the description box below. Please do check it out. It will be really helpful for you. So I hope you like the video. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos like this. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.